Hi, I'm Rihanna and welcome to my little place on the internet. Today I'm going to be going over all the things I've sewn in my first year of sewing. So this is the first year that I have done sewing and I've done a lot of projects actually, and some of them I am absolutely in love with. All of them I like, but some of them are just my favorite things in my wardrobe. So I'm very happy with my progress over this year and what I've done. So that's what I'm going to be showing with you today, and I'm also trying on all of the things that I can. There's a couple of items that I've made for other people, so I haven't tried those on, but everything else I have, and I'll be adding in little clips into this video as well as showing you them here. So let's start with my first sewing project. Now the first sewing project I did, I used this pattern here, and this is very easy Vogue V9344. And now most of these patterns and outfits, I either have videos where I'm making them, reviewing the pattern, or they're in the works to come out. So stay tuned if you don't see one of these patterns that you want to review on. It'll be up eventually, or you might even see my process of making them. But this one here was my first pattern, and I won't spoil the video where I go over more details, but let's just say it wasn't very easy. And here's the dress. I'll insert the video clip as well. But I absolutely love this fabric. I wear this dress all the time. I know it has so many flaws, but I just adore it. And I love the design. I love how I use this poofy white material here and then have the cuff again. This is one of those outfits that I really want to remake again eventually, because I have more fabric left and I just adore it. Like, I'd love to make it into an even better updated version of this eventually. So that's on the to-do list. Now, yes, it's just simple, and I actually wore it when I went and watched the Barbie movie. So there's that one. Now on to number 2. Okay, now dress number 2, I used this pattern right here, Simplicity 1609, and I can't remember if I used view C or D, but one of these. So basically I just don't have the bow or the neck thing, don't know what that's called. Here it is, and I love this fabric I chose. It's so bold, very 60s, and it very much suits that pattern, and I love that pattern. I have a fabric that I've already bought that I'm planning on remaking this dress with. The only thing I'll say is I'm not going to do the middle seam because I don't think it's necessary. And now, as you'll see here, so firstly I did this pattern, I finished it, at least. I started it with the old sewing machine I had, and I finished it off with the new machine that I bought. And firstly, I didn't know how to understitch yet. I didn't even know what that was at this point. So I decided to do a fancy neck stitch, which I really like, but also it does look pretty clunky. But I really like this dress. I wore this to my little brother's going away party when he moved to a different state. So yes, and I also didn't know how to make the zipper look neat yet either. So these are the first 2 items I ever made, and both of them I still wear to this day, and I love both of them. I'm so proud of them. Now item number 3. Now this is number 3, and it's a skirt with this beautiful, beautiful print. It's very Christmassy, but I also wear it at non-Christmas times too, because it's not too in-your-face Christmas. So you can get away with wearing it all year round, except when it's freezing cold, like now. And I really like this, and I don't know what pattern it is because I did this as part of a sewing class. I've taken 2 sewing classes before, and one was making a skirt, which I did this, and I learned so much from these classes, particularly this first one. So firstly, I've got a facing piece, and I've understitched for the first time. My darts are all so beautiful. There you can see a dart. Look at that. Isn't this dart just so perfect? And my zipper is very well hidden, and it's nice and neat. So I really enjoyed this, and I'm not much of a skirt wearer. Like, I only own I think 3 skirts, and 2 of them are ones that I've made because I did this class. Now item number 4 is another skirt. I made this mostly during that class because I finished that first project, so I started another one, but then I took it home and finished it. Now this is the same pattern except I adjusted it so it's A-line, and all I did was add extra fabric to the sides. So yes, once again, it's got facing, understitched. I really like this, but not as much as that other skirt. Surprisingly, I thought I would like the A-line, much more. I think this is called A-line, right? Where it flares out a little bit. I'm not too good with all of these terms, so I could be completely wrong. And the other one might, no, I think the other one's more like pencil style. Yeah, this is more A-line. And once again, my zipper, this one isn't as neat, but I still very much like it. Like, the zipper's not as neat. Everything else is. Like, I'm just so impressed with my darts. I love doing darts because I know some people are afraid of darts, but I really like doing darts. Now, item number, what's next? 5? So item number 5, I don't have a try on of this because it's part of a set. Now, this was made as a Christmas present for myself, my husband, and my little brother. So it was my brother's first Christmas away from home, so he'd moved states and he was very far away. We like video chatted and everything for the whole Christmas. So, but in order to help him feel a little bit closer to us, when we were kids, he and I used to get pajamas on Christmas. So I decided to make myself, him, and my husband matching pajama sets. So this is the only one I've got here right now. This is one of the shirts. And I never made myself the pants because I didn't find a pattern for women's pants. I used this pattern here for it, which is Simplicity S9128. And I know I could have adjusted it, but I didn't have enough fabric left. So the shirts are just plain grey with pockets. And then the pants were this fabric in pants. So Australian Christmas themed. And my husband got long pants and my brother got short pants because my brother lives in a much warmer climate than my husband and I. It's fairly cold. Even in summer, we don't get too hot. So he wanted the long pajama pants. And I just thought this was so cute and special. And I really enjoyed doing this. It was the first time I'd made something for other people and I loved it. And I loved how much they love it. And I know they both wear their pajamas all the time. And I wear my pajama shirt all the time. It's so comfy. This material is fantastic. It's just like stretchy, nice material. And I adjusted the pattern slightly. It was supposed to have like a separate neck piece, but I couldn't really work that out. I struggled a bit, so I just overlocked and then folded it and sewed it. And I think this looks neat and nice. And it was my first time doing sleeves like this, so I love this. Okay, now what are we up to? I think we're up to number 6 now. And that is this pattern right here. Simplicity 1800. Now this is my favorite pattern I've made for myself. I love this pattern. And as you'll see up and coming, I've made this dress pattern twice. And I really, really like this pattern. It's just so gorgeous. I love the neckline and I love the pockets and how they're like a feature of it. And I made whatever view this is, which is view, the first time I made view B and the second time I made view A, so just different sleeve lengths, I think. We'll see. Anyway, so the first time I did it here with this one, and now all of these past patterns have all been happening fairly much around the same sort of time, including like the skirts, the pajamas, and this. So this pattern, I found it very difficult the first time I was doing it, and I wasn't too confident yet with what I was doing. So you'll notice there's no facing on this because I just got really confused. So it's a bit floppier, this neckline, compared to the next one I'll show you. But I love this. I wear it all the time. You know, here are the pockets. And this fabric is just gorgeous. This is one of my favorites for sure. And I actually wore this for my engagement photo shoot / pre-wedding shoot, because we'd been engaged for ages by the point we had the photo shoot, so it was more like a pre-wedding one. And I wore this in the photos, and so obviously I really like this one. Now next, I'm losing track of where we're up to with numbers, but this is the next one I made. And it's that same pattern, except this time I'd had a bit more practice, and this is actually fully lined, the bodice part, which is what the pattern calls for, and then the sleeves have facing. And this is the longest sleeve length this time. And this one sits so much better on me because it is lined, so it's just a lot sturdier. And this is my favorite dress I've made for myself. This is my absolute favorite. I love wearing this. And it's been a little while since I've worn it because it's currently winter and it is really cold. But this is a favorite of mine for sure. It's just so good. And there are still some mistakes. Like I still got confused when I was doing all of this, and I sewed this part separate, this side facing. So this flaps a little bit because it's supposed to be connected to the bodice, but I'm not really sure what I did wrong there. But overall, this isn't a super easy pattern. Yeah, I would definitely say it's not an easy pattern, but I got through it and I made 2 dresses and I adore this pattern, and I really, really recommend this pattern to other people. It's just beautiful. I love the silhouette. I love the neck. I love the pockets. Just everything about this is so perfect. There is one major flaw in this that's funny actually. So it's not an obvious flaw, thankfully, because of the fabric, but this is how the pattern fabric's supposed to face, and this is the opposite way. And it's one of those annoying things where the bodice is the correct way round, and as I was sewing this and attaching it in my head, I was like, make sure you don't do it upside down, but somehow I did. It's just so annoying because I knew to think to not do it that way and still somehow it happened. But you can't really tell, like, unless I point it out to people or they're having a really good look, you cannot tell. Like, I've shown this to multiple people. Oh, and the other thing is the pleats on the first one I did aren't nearly as neat. They are so perfect, my pleats. I love them so much. I did such a good job. The other ones, the pleats are not nearly as good. So practice really does help. So yeah, I really, really like this. Alrighty, now this next one isn't being included in the tally because I haven't finished it, but this I did a sewing class for, and I think I can't exactly remember where this fell into, but I started doing this while I made those last 2 dresses, because the sewing class was like a 5-week thing once a week. So obviously I made other things in the meantime, but this I just never finished, and it's a shirt. I don't particularly like it. Like, I like my fabric choice, but I don't really like the pattern. I don't think it suits me all that well. I will eventually finish it. All I have to do is add the facing pieces on the neck, the arms, and finish the bottom. But it's a simple blouse pattern that doesn't have a zip or anything. So yeah, I'm just not that keen on this. I don't know what pattern it is, because once again, I was a part of a class and I did take the pattern home, but then one of my dogs ate it. So clearly they also didn't like it that much. So yeah, it's all right, and it just needs finishing, but this isn't going to be counted. But this did teach me a lot more sewing things, so that's why I'm showing it. Now, this is another one I really love, this pattern here. This is McCall's M7948, and I have a review of this one on my channel already. And it is this dress here. Now, this is lined, so the pattern doesn't call for it to be lined, but this fabric needed to be lined because it's very see-through. Yeah, I really love this. The skirt is made from a old picnic table or something type fabric that my mum picked up at Vinnie's and gave to me for Christmas. So I really like this. It's such nice breezy fabric. I wore it on my honeymoon, particularly in Singapore, a lot because it was so hot there and this was so nice and breezy. I don't have as much of a need for that where I live, but it's still a very nice dress. And the twirlability of this, oh my gosh, it is my best outfit I have for twirling. I just love spinning around in this dress so much. It just flows out and it looks beautiful and it's just so comfy. and there's no zipper, so it's just got this slit here in the back, and so it's really easy to throw on over and you don't have to worry about adding zippers in. Then this pattern here, Simplicity S9012, I made this version here, the dress, and here it is. Now, this is probably not my favorite thing I've made. I don't really have a least favorite thing I've made, but this isn't my favorite, but I still wear it plenty. But I adore the sleeves on this pattern. Like, oh my gosh, look at that. And it was my first time working with this particular sort of slippery fabric. And I'll say with this pattern, it wasn't that hard to work with. Like, there's another pattern coming up, my Bridgerton one, and that was way harder to work with slippery fabrics. This pattern here made it easy to work with these sort of flowy, slippery fabrics. Now, I'm not good at fabric names, so I can't tell you what fabric this is, but it's slippery, it's breezy, and it's also a little bit duller in colour than the usual things I wear, so that also might add to why it's not one of my favourites. Okie dokie, so we're coming toward the end with the last few things I've made recently. So we have this pattern here, New Look 6572, and I've got a video out of me actually making this dress, so you can watch along and see. Now, this is a tunic. You can make this for lots of different weathers. I decided to go with a thick material and make it a winter tunic, and here it is. I love this. Now, this is another one of my favorite items. It's one of my most worn items. I've been wearing this at least once a week now that it's winter. It's just so nice and comfy, and it's so warm, and it's good because it's just a tunic dress. So I wear it with a black shirt and tights underneath. So all I have to do is get a new pair, or like I have multiple pairs of black shirts and tights. So I just get a new pair, and then I can rewear this again multiple times in the week. So I really like this, and the fabric has little, oh, it's not really showing up on the camera, but they have little glittery, little tiny, no, you really can't see it on the camera, but little sequins in it. So it has the tiniest bit of shimmer, and I love things to be bright, bold, a little bit different and extra, so the little bit of shimmer is really me. This next one is one of my absolute favorite things I've ever made, and it's not even for me, and I really, really liked this. It was my favorite time, I think, that I've had sewing, so I just enjoyed the whole process, and I love, love, love how it turned out. Now, onto the pattern. It is McCall's M8415. Now, I don't have a video out on this yet, but there will be, don't you worry, of me making it, because I upload my videos in random orders. So this video will be coming out today, actually, the same day I'm filming it. And I made the men's vest. And now, I also had a recent video come out where I said I wasn't making this because my husband couldn't make it to the party, but I realized we have a wedding we're attending in October, and he really wanted me to make this for that, which I'm so happy he did, because it's this vest. I'll have to just insert a video of the vest up close, maybe. Anyway, I need to trim these bits off, but anyway, it's got these beautiful buttons, welts. As you can see, I've still got threads everywhere. The back, and it's beautifully lined. And now this, I really love so much. I think this is my favorite thing I've made. I just enjoyed it so much. And this pattern was fantastic. There was lots of new things that I did and learnt, but I thought it was all very achievable. And I did do a whole practice one of this, which was good because I made a few minor mistakes that I could tweak. So I really enjoyed this pattern so much, and I do recommend this pattern. And I'm eager to try making the shirts because the pattern also has some shirt options too. So I want to have a go at making some shirts, particularly for Christmas. I might even try to aim to make a shirt for my husband, and my dad would love a long sleeve shirt, I think, and my little brother, I think, would like a vest. So if I have time, my life is getting pretty busy and hectic lately, but if I have time, I'll be making these. And if it's not for Christmas, I'll make this at some point in time for those people. And this fabric is just beautiful. Like, how could I not use this fabric? And my husband's favorite color is green, so he loves this too. Now, lucky last, the last thing I've made, which I actually finished yesterday, thankfully, so it fell into things I've made in my first year of sewing, and that is a Bridgerton dress. And I made view A, which just has, the only difference is it has these sleeves. I didn't add any frills or anything onto it, and this I really, really like too. Here it is. Now this is not, and once again there's threads I have to cut. This is not historically accurate or anything, it's just a costume. I mean, for crying out loud, there's a zip in the back. But I love this. It turned out ever so slightly too big for me, but that's okay because I'm wearing it to a party in September. It's actually my mum's birthday and she's having a Bridgerton themed picnic party with lots of lawn games and stuff. So it will be good to be running around playing games in. So I love it. The fabric is just gorgeous and it's not a colour I usually wear, but I really like it. And it is super Bridgerton family. So yeah, I wasn't planning on going this direction. I had a completely different plan. Anyway, rambling too much, but I found this fabric and it's just gorgeous. So that is all the things I've made in my first year of sewing. And I'm really proud of every single item I've made. There's not a single item on here that I would say I'm not proud of and that I don't love and don't wear. There's definitely my absolute favorites, which I'll show you once again. My absolute favorite, this one here, gets the top pick for my absolute favorite, but it was a really hard running. And then my favorite one for sewing has to be the vest I made my husband recently. Could also be because I made it recently too. My memory's not the greatest, but I really enjoyed making that and I love this one. This one gets so much wear, but to be honest, all of them get a lot of wear. The one that gets the least amount of wear is this skirt here. Not really for any reason. I suppose I just also finished it towards the later end of the hotter months, so I've worn it less. Obviously I could wear tights or something under it, but can't be bothered. And skirts aren't really my thing. Yeah, I'm really happy with everything I've accomplished in my first year and I'm excited to get stuck into my second year of sewing. I still have so many things I want to make and so many things I want to try, and I have so many skills that I want to get and work on, and I just know that I'll keep getting better and better. Even just proven in this last year, even just item to item, I've made so many improvements and learnt so many things. So I think if you're out there wondering, should I start sewing? 100% yes, start sewing. You just start somewhere, and even if you don't like something, that's okay. Or even if there's things not perfect, I hope me showing you my first things, which definitely are far from perfect, and you can definitely tell are homemade. Most of these you can tell are homemade still. I don't have that, I haven't built up enough skills yet for you to think, oh, that's store-bought. Some of them maybe, yes, but lots of them definitely look homemade, and I think that's fine. A lot of people are scared to wear things that don't look, you know, fully professional out in public, but I wear my first items I made all the time still. I'm so in love with them that I don't really care what anyone else thinks, and no one looks at you that closely anyway. No one's judging you thinking, oh my god, that is so uneven. And plus, have you seen plenty of stuff in shops? So many ready-mades aren't that good quality anyway. So I would say make stuff, get stuck in, just have fun with it, and you'll learn more as you get there. Don't be too stressed about if things aren't perfect. And if there's things that you really want to be better, make practice versions of them. A lot of these items I never made practice versions for. The Bridgerton dress, yes. My husband's vest, yes. And one other dress. Those three things I've made practice versions of. And everything else I've just tried the first time. So get stuck in, have fun, wear your items out, wear them proudly. Even your first item, if you've been sewing for a few years, I dare you to wear one of the first things you ever made out in public. try it on, put it on, and go out in public, go to the grocery shops or something this weekend and wear it and be proud of what you've done and be proud of how far you've come. And that's all from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you for watching this video. Okay, bye!